Hey Andy, yeah, I'm all right. Doing all right today. Um, this is gonna be a start, which I'll go over in the stream summary, but this is gonna be a fun week in terms of me streaming. Glad to hear it. Thank you, man. How about you? How you doing? Doing all right today? In fact, let us go ahead and get us started. Let's see, let's do just chatting. Hello. Welcome back, Wolfpack. So, I'm good now, thank you. This guy. He said I'm good now. That's funny. No, so yeah, as you may notice, I'm streaming kind of early today on this Wednesday. I did something that most people wouldn't do, is just me and you. Well, yeah. Well, there's a few viewers on the Twitch side for once. That's interesting. There's more people on the Twitch side than the YouTube side right now. No switch repairs, but there will be a switch reassembly for a customer. They want me to ship the console back to them. I deemed it not worth it for me to continue working on it, so I just got to put it back together and send it out to them. They're in Arizona, so that's gonna be a shipping thing. But yeah, this is what we're gonna be doing this week. Is I decided to do what most people wouldn't, and I used my PTO for my day job to get caught up on backlog and just work orders and just catch up with the business things. And also just as my way of taking a break from like the grind. Oh yeah, lab coat. I need to look into that too, actually. And make that command. Thank you for typing that. That actually reminds me. So yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. Is I'll be streaming, hopefully. Well, obviously today I'm already streaming. Tomorrow I'll be streaming. Friday I'll be streaming. Saturday I'll probably stream for a little bit, but I have some events going on that evening. So I'm hoping to do like a solid 3 days straight of streaming. So that'll be fun. And then also, I've been looking into my microscope setup to get something better, and I think I found it. So Dream, he's like in the repair community. His username is like Dreams PC with like a bunch of uppercase and lowercase letters. You'll see him. Oh wow. Okay. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Hey Dream. Or Dream Spec. He mentioned to me about a Barlow lens, which I ended up getting a Barlow lens with the reduced magnification, but that didn't end up solving the issue with the microscope zoom. That improves my FOV from the binoculars. So I found out there is a reduction lens that you can get, a C-mount reduction lens, particularly for your camera. So I'm looking to get that, and I figured out how to properly mount a C-mount camera. So this whole time I've had it mounted incorrectly. So now I have it mounted correctly, so it should be a little bit more stable. The unfortunate thing is it stands a little taller, so I might get interference between my overhead camera and the microscope like cord. I'm looking into getting a right angle USB A to B cable, so I got to look into getting that. Or just a right angle adapter would be nice, just so the cord isn't sticking straight up and creating more height. So our FOV should be improving. I got that piece on order, like just a starter one to test it. Reduction lens to 0.7x, so 0.7x, so that should increase our FOV up to 3 times, about 3 times. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, without further ado with the setup, got my water. I hope you guys got your water. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go on over to the overhead cam. So we have, woo, yeah, I'm so looking forward to it not being like Omega Zoom. I really did a deep dive last night into like microscope cameras and different setups to get the goal I was looking for. Also, I was looking at some cameras themselves, some improved ones, because like I said, I got this one for free. I've been looking at cameras that have like an auto-focusing feature, and I think that'll be great for live streaming, so then I don't have to focus so much on making sure the camera is in focus. I can just like start it up, no problem. So we have a console, looks pretty dirty. Getting a phone call. Oh yeah, this is normal business hours, so I am gonna. That's the only downside of streaming throughout the midweek and the day, is it's during normal business hours. 1 second. Hello, this is Jeff with WolfPackElectronics. It was a scam. It's like I can't stand that stinking bot. I can't wait for the new iOS, which I need to install, I guess. I guess it's out already. That filters out those bot calls. Can't wait. Okay. Man, I really do think people need to be like really taught. Sometimes it's not the play to leave your cables like a lot of times what I notice people do, especially sometimes people come in with like a broken HDMI port, they leave the cords plugged into the console and then wrap the cord around the console. I'm like, guys, this isn't like a N64 controller. That is really not good. It can't handle that amount of strain. So what's left in this backpack is just accessories and whatnot. So I got the console out. It's on my workbench now. So I'm gonna go put this backpack back in my foyer. Alright. I had one for a while, to be honest. Hate that. Now I had one. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it in a little bit. So I find that interesting. It's like it really, like, consoles don't like that. Ports don't like that. It's a lot of strain. Alright, so let's see. Let me get my air compressor on. I will be right back. Because you never know how a console will be, and then I'll get my gloves on too. I guess, no, I need to reproduce the issue too. I remember I turned my TV on, but I didn't connect the console. Alright, air compressor is on. Alright, now we can officially start. Usually like to open it from the other side. This console's pretty dusty. I just hope we don't have a bug infestation like the last PS5 I worked on. Okay, besides dust, this is looking pretty promising. I'm not seeing any bug bits. So that's always nice to see. So no bug bits. Let's proceed. Oh, digital console. Interesting. Been a little while since I worked on one of these. Hold on, let me get my chat a little zoomed in so I can read the chat. There we go. It's always interesting to me where like dust likes to collect on this console. You would think these fins would be like kind of jaggy enough or dust wouldn't collect, but dust just needs a little bit to get started and then boy oh boy, it's off to the races. Also, how's my audio? How's like my music in comparison to my voice and all that? I still have been tweaking things. Audio sound A-okay? Nice, thank you. Torn. Nice to have you in the stream. Haven't seen you in the stream in a little while. He's one of the founders, one of the OGs. I think think he's been too busy playing Tekken to watch my streams. Lol. Might have to join them in playing Tekken, and then I'll play Tekken on stream. Okay. Nice. Alright, so a few things that we need to do. So we need to get these warranty stickers off. Thankfully, this console's never been opened. I always love that. It's always nice working on a console that hasn't been touched. Sorry, I had a phone call. Hey, man. Swin, totally get it. I literally had one at the start of the stream. So, Andy, is this like your full-time gig? Might be no chillin', dude. That's funny. A little Smash Brothers Melee reference. Like, do you do the electronic repairs, or do you have a day job too, like some of us in the repair space? Alright, so I always like to preserve these labels if possible by heating them up. And then you can lift them up with tweezers. Yes, sir. Okay, gotcha. Full-fledged swindler. I hate when that happens, when the glue doesn't lift from the top. There we go. Alright, so we're just gonna start on another corner, and that looks good. Nice. So we can put this down. Man, that came off like perfectly. Exactly how you would want it to. Nice. My OBS bot arrived. It's not busy, but I'll get there. This is my job. It's not busy, but I'll get there. Yes, sir. Nice. That's kind of nice, man. I'm hoping one day maybe I can do the same thing. I do have a bit of overhead that kind of keeps me needing a day job, but soon I won't need that level of income to cover my costs. My cost of operation. Tiny 2 light. Yay, dreams. Tiny 2. You know what? I need to pick up another one of these, like, screwdriver sets, and then I need to order those motorized ones, but I think I'm gonna wait till October because Amazon is running like a Prime Deals thing in October, or October 7th through the 8th or something. I think I'm gonna pick up one of those electric screwdrivers in a bit. I think I already have one actually. Yeah, I have one already. I have a Ryobi one that I bought impromptu. I might just use that, honestly. It's not super high torque, so I don't have to worry about like over torquing or stripping things or cross threading any screws. That's what I worry about too. That's gonna be nice. Oh wait, didn't I say I was gonna do something? I'm supposed to connect this console to my TV. Oh my gosh, I almost violated a cardinal rule. Always reproduce the issue. I almost didn't do that. Good thing I didn't get past the point of no return. Well, I'm gonna leave this console laying flat because I have the fan cover off and it's not screwed in. HDMI port. The port feels solid and loose at the same time. Alright, so I got the console turning on. We shall see. It's going from blue light. See if it gets white light. Okay, it looks like it's trying to get picture, and it did go to white light, so that's a good sign. Wonder if I wiggle it, what happens? Dang, it looked like it was trying. Wait, why did it go to HDMI 2? It like switched to the wrong input. That's weird. Yeah, okay. So we got nothing. I don't know why my TV decided to auto switch to HDMI 2. This cable's been in HDMI 1 for forever. Okay, so classic symptoms, HDMI port repair is required. So we'll do that. Let this thing gracefully shut down. Is this another phone call? Is it a bot? Looks like a bot. Sounds like a bot. It's probably a bot. Alright, so now that we reproduced the issue, let's proceed with peace of mind. Solid and loose, lol. Exactly. Kind of hard to explain, but you know what I mean. Like, I guess the metal framing around the HDMI port is good, but the actual, like, pins to the board are loose. Here, let me get a port. This is a brand new port. So, like, the metal shroud around the whole HDMI port was solid, but this part can kind of feel loose on the back end where it's supposed to connect. Dang, I can't get it to focus. Where it basically attaches to the motherboard. Just put the new port there. Yeah, getting that automated screw gun is going to be amazing. BRB having dinner. See you later. Yeah, man. Enjoy, enjoy. So many screws. Alright, let's get this fan disconnected. I feel like with the fan, like deliberate rocks from left to right, it seems to be the most effective. Like wiggling the connector side by side like that. PH1. Professor Wolfpack in another repair. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Gene, aka Bulletproof. Yeah, so I mentioned, dude, that's gonna be so sick in terms of the lore of being called Professor. Like, that's gonna be amazing. Because I literally used to get called that when I was a young kid. That's crazy. Somehow it's like come back in my life. But yeah, I'm using my PTO to get caught up on backlog and a bunch of things that I feel like I'm falling behind on a little bit. So that's what I'm doing with my PTO. Interesting. This console was never open, but I don't know what that is. It's like some scum. But yeah, Lewis, we're doing a PS5 HDMI port repair. Wait, no, this console was open before. I don't know if it was opened by Sony officially or what, but you know what? I did notice one of the stickers was a little off. Yeah, and then these stickers are secondhand. So you can see these. Like, you can see the originals, and then these, like, paper stickers they put on top. Interesting. Yeah, and this isn't underneath this foam sticker. Okay. Yeah, this console was worked on before. Is that board delaminating? Good question. No, it just seems like paper residue from one of these stickers. I think someone peeled off one of the paper stickers. Here, let me bring it closer. I think what someone did is they peeled off the residue, the paper sticker here, and just stuck it on the PCB and left it on there. Maybe they applied heat on accident, and then it left the glue on the PCB. Alright, another bot call. Back-to-back bots. That's the one thing about streaming during my normal business hours, my Google business hours, even though I'm always working, but yeah, not amused that this console is already opened up. Hey Lewis, I just want to say thanks again for giving me that update. I'm really glad the controller ended up, we ended up figuring that out. Or you ended up figuring that out. Because I was like racking my brain trying to be like, yo, what the heck happened to get to that point? Alright, let's remove the antennas. The antenna wires. Alright, that's good. Also, there was a leak controller I worked on the same day. I think I figured out what's going on with that one. I think the modules I got from factory are faulty, or the rare chance, but I doubt it. I reviewed my footage. I left the heat on the pins too long, but I highly doubt that. Maybe the TMRs are more sensitive, but that's the only grace I can give as to what my actions were that may have caused those modules to fail, but I'm like, I doubt it. Highly. But now I have to reopen that controller and reinstall that stick, that module that's not working, which is the right analog stick, the one you typically aim with. So that's a bit annoying, but c'est la vie. Just gonna knock it out and then not think about it. Okay, buddy. Little paper sticker, you're being a little... Okay, so these paper stickers, whatever this person installed after the fact, kind of suck. Okay, so we got that out of the way. The LED ribbon cable out of the way. Let's get my red Sharpie. Just any excess dust I'm seeing, I'm just gonna remove it. Alright, see, this is the part where I really wish there's stickers, who cares? They hate being soldered with liquid flux. There's stickers, who cares? For John. Oh, Dave's. Like, of course. Hey, Dave, how you doing? How you doing this fine morning, evening, afternoon? I think we're in the same time zone, so it'd be like afternoon for you. Excuse me. Man, that sneeze. Just got my power supply. Oh, nice. FNRSI? What is that? I'll be watching with interest. Finergy? Oh, snap. I didn't know you were ordering a power supply. It's pretty cool. Voltage injection. So here's the tool I have already that I could probably use. I just don't have the right bit. So I'm gonna look into getting what is it, a T8? Yeah, a T8 bit. Oh nice, we got an alert. Welcome to the pack, appreciate the follow. Collapso, ISO, welcome, welcome. Yeah, looking forward to getting that bit for this portion. I feel like this is low enough torque where it could get it out and put them back in without having to worry about cross-threading. Hello! How you doing? What brings you here? You interested in electronic repair? Twisted Metal fan. Oh, by the name? Wow, I would have never got that reference unless you said something. Alright. Then I'll just replace this tape with Kapton tape. Oh yeah, this is that like crumble tape. It leaves a lot of dust. Second. Where's my blade? Was that like a type of vehicle in Twisted Metal? Or is that a character? Yeah, I've always known of Twisted Metal, but I never played it actually growing up. I also ordered a clock radio to join the group of people who are getting them. A clock radio. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I saw JFix was working on one yesterday. Man, whoever installed these screws really worked them in. I don't know if they went this far last time. I'm guessing they did. The digital alarm clock is a really good kit, Dave's. Gotcha. Way more soldering. Gotcha. Tightened past specs. Seems that way. Definitely went a little ham sandwich. A little honey baked ham, if you ask me. I sent MK a kit he will show on stream tomorrow, I think. Install Linux, please. That's funny. That's a good one. Hey, why do you have that symbol next to your listening only? Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know you could see that. Oh, okay, that's cool. Install Linux. At some point, I probably will. With like how much I do stuff like that, I probably will at some point. I forgot a lot of my syntax though. But I think it's one of those things where if you've done it enough, you kind of don't forget. Like change directory, print working directory, sudo, all that good stuff. Your dot to go back a directory. Yeah, I used to do a lot of work in Red Hat Linux, a lot of networking setup for a place I used to work at. And also setting up the simulators and models that we had that ran on real-time Linux. So that's where I learned all my syntax. It's like fun stuff. Collapso. Kali? Wait, who's Kali? Oh, Kali Linux? Is that your favorite like strain? I forgot what they call them. Versions, types, configuration. Yeah, Kali Linux. Yeah, it took my brain a second. I'm looking forward to like taking PTO, hanging with you guys. It's almost like my own vacation in a way. Someone wants to watch internet traffic. I wonder if I can place a giant terminal in the sky and run Linux in the world. What would be the commands you would use on people? Like, um, like PCK UPTRSH. Pick up your trash. That would be one command. That would help the planet. And there would be like a command that says super user do bruh. Yo, Gene, chill. SMH. Reboot. Yeah, need. I can see that. I can see how people can have the take of like wanting to do a hard reset. Bruh. People in colder climates would suffer though, Gene. You gotta think about everybody. Kill all's a little rough. I don't know if I would do that. Maybe like current sections of like our modern world, maybe the like economy, some parts, we can like hard reset that. Remove with the asterisk so everybody undefined. Dang, I thought y'all would be doing stuff a little more additive, not reduction. But then again, I understand. Add billion. See, that's what I'm talking about. Let's add some stuff. Let's not take it away. Add money to bank account. That would be the first command I would do as super user. Yeah. Shoot. Trying to think, what else would I make? Probably make myself lose a bunch of weight for free. Not having exercise. Be swole. Extreme cardiovascular health without running. That'd be insane. Alright. We got screws out. Let's get this panel off. Wow, there's one screw that escaped me. One lurker down here. Make sure I got them all. I did. Hey Juan, how you doing? This man said the PTO hits different in Florida. Yeah, I know. Paid time off just to work some more. Dang, did they add more? No, this seems to be the OEM amount. Jeez. That stuff was really suction on there. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, I don't think the last person who opened this went this far. I don't think, but I could be wrong. I'm good, man. Nice to see you, man. Pseudo add billions. You're already a beast? Dang, thanks, man. I'm trying. Not trying to be quite like Mr. Beast, but trying to be a beast in my own right. And I think that'd be cool. The whole professor thing, I really do want to get a lab coat, man. I think that was so sick. I think it was Squishy Worms who came up with that idea. But it's fun work, man. No micromanagement. Yes, Even though sometimes when customers be blowing me up asking me for updates, it does feel like that, but it's usually just them trying to hold you accountable. What would be in CD and LS and Linux? A change directory. I feel like that would be like changing location, like teleportation would be CD. Like if I could CD Japan or CD Toronto, that would be sick. And then for LS, maybe like list your lineage, like your family tree maybe. And then if you do LS, like it's just like 1 or 2 generations back. And if you do LS-A, that'll give you like your whole family tree back to like Noah, if you believe in that. If you believe in the flood. Yeah, like the sticky's off, but it's still not terrible. Interesting. Interessante. But it's fun work. Yeah, definitely this is far more relaxing working here. No offense to my day job. Like at the end of the day, it pays the majority of my bills. And I do enjoy the work when it's managed well and things are flowing quite well. But when it gets to a point where it's kind of slow or we're waiting, oh, it's misery. Idle brain is my kryptonite. You want to nerf me IRL? That's all it takes. Interessante. Say Portuguese? Portuguese? Nah, I just say that sometimes. I mix in some Spanish sometimes. I mean, shoot, speaking of Portuguese, I was thinking of going to a Brazilian steakhouse this week. Get my protein fix for the month. I'm from Brazil. Oh, nice. Paz OL. Don't know what that is. LMAO. That's interesting. That's crazy. You know what I've been thinking about getting from the Brazilian market we have here in my local area? Is there like these little peanut butter cylinders? It's like almost dehydrated peanut butter. They taste like a Reese's cup. I forgot what they're called. And another thing I want to try is cupuaçu. It's like a type of fruit, I think. If you're from Brazil, you probably heard of it. I want to try that too. What, with that newborn size Mario hat? I know that's not yours. I've seen your Dome Malone, so I know that ain't fitting. Darn right. I got too much knowledge in here in this noggin. This little hat can't contain it. This little Mario hat. Too much knowledge, like Ty Lopez. Bulletproof said that would be a fun command. Pseudo world language English. Yes, you can change the whole language. Yes, or you can even change time at that point. Kiko sticks. I haven't heard that in a while. Crap. No, I'm good. I'm good. All right, let's proceed. Let's get the motherboard out. I gotta find a way that like makes the most sense now. Let's like get underneath. Ooh, I don't like how far the spudger went. Should be good. I still don't like how that felt. So one thing about removing those bottom screws early, then it's kind of a pain to separate. Alright, my spudger didn't knock anything, so that's good. Man, why is this stuff so smeared like this? Like, it's like so much. I think the person like reapplied the thermal compound, which is great. Most people don't. Like, I typically don't. But jeez. What a little honey baked ham. And they respread the liquid metal. Looks like they added some too. And it's pretty well spread. Maybe this console had an overheating issue before, and that's why they opened it up previously. Now we gotta replace the HDMI port. That peanut butter cup tasting snack is called Chico Sticks where I'm from. Oh, nice. Yeah, they're like a really small, like cylinder. I have to find it. A coworker of mine, he's from Brazil. He brought it. He wanted us all to try it. That is one thing that's cool with like international coworkers is like they always want you to try stuff from their hometown, which can always be cool. Alright, so I'm gonna use the air compressor on this in a bit, but let's get the port replaced first. And they really went ham with that thermal compound, and I probably don't need to respread the liquid metal, but I'm going to anyway because why not? Why go through that hassle? Bizarre, but here it would take more than an entire year's salary to buy a single 5090? Holy smokes. I guess we really do need that super user do make billions command. We have the same for Puerto Rico. We're, well, half my culture. Nice. Dang, man, that's insane. It's crazy how economies can be so different. Alright, let me... Oh, I can't wait to get that. I was talking about this at the outset of my stream. I figured out what I need. That's a luxury item? Yeah, for sure. Here's 20 times the normal salary. Jeez. But yeah, I think I figured out the microscope setup I need so that the FOV is better for you guys. I have the part. It should be coming in Friday. I ordered it. It's called a reduction lens before the microscope camera. Because originally I just got a different Barlow lens on the bottom of my microscope, but that didn't do it. It helped my POV, but not the microscope's POV. So I'm looking forward to getting that working so you guys can have a better view. This is something that has been annoying me with my stream for a while. Alright, and speaking of microscope view, let's transition over. Get the microscope. A 90 anything is a luxury GPU wise. Yeah, true. But much more affordable here than in the States, yeah. Alright, we're going to transition to the microscope view and make do. Yeah, like my POV now that I've added this Barlow lens at the bottom, is even wider. And so like, I'm looking forward to being able to get you guys able to see real soon. I got that attachment, that attachment coming. Alright, let's go over to the microscope cam, and I was messing with it, so I probably need to adjust it some. I see that's pretty in focus, so let me move this. Uh-oh. Wait, do I need to come down some? I can't go down anymore. That's not really going to work out. That added a little too much height. Here, let me see if I can lower this. Nah, that's way too low. Sorry guys, 1 second. Shoot, I might have to get rid of this, even though it's supposed to be there. It's adding like too much magnification. Is that Mario hat for Nightbot? Because me and him beefing, he came at me too hard just because I play Astrobot. It was almost on bot crime. That's funny. Dude, Astrobot's such a good game. I enjoyed playing that a lot. I believe this is threaded. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Crap. Now I gotta figure out how to get the zoom right. With that extra height. That is a good amount of height, though. Alright, 1 second. Let's switch over to the microscope cam. Even more zoomed in. Sheesh. Yeah, now that I have it at the proper setup. Hey, WP Jeff. What's going on? Hey, Player One, how you doing? Just struggling with my microscope right now. I like inadvertently made it worse. What can I do? I guess I can go back to how it was. I could do that. Here, let me do that. Until I get that proper reduction lens in. I'm just gonna take the microscope back to how it was before. Bear with me, guys. Jeez, 24 months salary. Alright, this is all the way zoomed out. Focused on that. Focus on the HDMI port. I like to focus on the pins as best I can. Even though it's going to be hard to see with this level of magnification, but I've already explained this to you guys, so you guys know. The solution is inbound. Can't wait. Said I agree, a buck bean stack, no Diddy Kong race in my saying, man, don't steal it. I like that. 4090 costs 24 times the normal salary. That's 24 months just for the GPU, not counting the rest of the computer. Anyway, I never support populism. It has serious cons. Populism. Alright, let's get a bunch of flux on here. Get this thing ready for extraction. Got my hot air station blowing hot air. It's doing its thing. Now I just gotta do my thing. Man, this Barlow lens is nice. From like my perspective, my FOV is great. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm bragging to my own audience, but yeah, I think once I get that reduction lens in, it's gonna be a game changer. Can't wait for you guys to be able to finally see what I'm doing. You guys will be able to see it a lot better. Alright, we're gonna start applying heat from the underside of the board. Alright, it's starting to give a little bit. One side of the anchors are released. Got the other side starting to release, so that's good. Alright, I think it just gave a little. Or a lot. I think I could pull it out now, but I want to make sure I have proper wetting before I do that. Make sure everything's nice and liquidous. Nice. HDMI port is out. Let's get the new one in while we still have a bunch of heat. And we have, let me add more flux. Everyone said, did you catch the last Nintendo Direct? So anything on the radar now? Honestly, that last Direct was kind of mid, not gonna lie. Like, the whole Galaxy 2 thing is about the only thing that excites me, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be mad buying the same game for like the 5th time. And I'm gonna do it too, because collecting, but trust me, if I was not a collector, I would not tell people to buy that. Unless you've absolutely never played it, which I guess that's the market. But I think it's just a cash grab because they released the movie name, the new movie, Mario movie name, and it's Super Mario Galaxy, which I thought was interesting. I thought they would go with World just to kind of stay on a path. But I guess they have other plans. That went like so perfectly in the slot. That was crazy. That side got properly wetted. But other than that, there's nothing I can think of that really like got me going. I am looking forward to the new Sonic racing game, surprisingly. That game looks pretty good, and I played the demo. The closed network test they did, but the public demo's out now. Alright, let's stop applying heat. We just need to hold. Hold it. Hold it. Let everything solidify. Hold it. Good. Actually got a 4090 I need to give to this guy to see if he can revive it. Oh yeah, that would be interesting. I'd be down for that. Sounds like a good challenge. Did you cast? But anything interests you, Player One, in that direct? Oh, bro. Bulletproof? Diddy Kong Racing is like one of my favorite N64 games of all time. If we could find a way to play that online, I will play that on stream with viewers. Like, we could all play. If we could do the adventure mode together, bruh. Yeah, so right now me and Bulletproof are playing a Zelda Ocarina of Time mod where it lets us play multiplayer, like in the adventure mode. So we're like fighting bosses at the same time. Not necessarily the same instance for enemies, but it's kind of cool because like you know how it's a process to get the big Goron sword. We were able to like cheese it because one of us is already at the drop-off location and one of us at the pickup point. So we like speed ran that portion of the game. It's really fun. Something I might want to start doing with like viewers of the channel and whatnot. I think that'd be cool. All right, anyway, back to business. But if they had that mod for Diddy Kong Racing, or if they add Diddy Kong Racing to the Nintendo Online service, maybe that'll make it easier to accomplish the same thing. But obviously that one costs more money because it's a paid service. Yeah, this old HDMI port, the internals were good. It's just the pins detached from the PCB. And once you're already there, you might as well just replace it. Okay. Let's inspect our port install. We're gonna make sure everything's good. The Octopath game looked interesting. Oh wait, dang! I didn't hear about that one. There's a new Octopath game? Because Octopath is like a really good RPG series that I enjoy. Octopath Traveler 1, Octopath 2. I have both of them physical. Are they releasing a third one or? Oh, and the Dragon Quest remake too. Yeah. See that Oh, are you serious, bro? One side didn't fully seat. How the heck did that happen? Okay, so I gotta reapply it. I gotta attempt to. Darn, man, and now I lost all my heat. That's okay. We should be fine. Octopath Zero. Oh, okay. We'll have to look into that. I'm gonna have to look into that for sure. Okay, so one side of the HDMI port didn't fully seat, so I'm going to apply heat again to reflow all the pins and whatnot to get it to reseat properly. That sucks. Even with a stereoscope microscope, sometimes it's hard to see depth. Maybe I was just distracted, whatever, I don't know. It felt so solid, but one side literally like lifted up, not touching the PCB. So we can't be having that. That feels a lot better. Alright, hold it. You just need to hold the line. Hold the line, let everything solidify. And good. Well, fix it all, Captain Jeff. I got a meeting to go to. Oh, geez, have fun. Hopefully it's not with HR. Those meetings don't tend to go well. It's already a mod. We'll look into it tomorrow after work. Nice. Diddy Kong Racing multiplayer. Alright, let's get the lull the customer. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's a good meeting. Figured you'd get a kick out of that. Oh yeah, that's looking a lot better. I guess I didn't show it to you guys the first time, but interesting. I need to bring it down. I guess I overdid it. Oh, nice. We got a delivery from Amazonian. Mr. Bezos.com. Alright. Let me get this thing in view, and then we can do our inspection. What in the world? Did I come down too much? It's microscope shenanigans. I did too much adjusting last night trying to figure out the whole, why is that bringing it out of focus? It's so weird. Okay. 1 second, guys. Let me see if the microscope camera is still happy with these adjustments I made. Zoom that out. And the low lighting. Okay, there we go. When dial got turned down. Alright, nice. Rotate this. My door camera went off a moment ago too. Amazona. Yeah, that's funny. Bezos.com, man. Synchronized swimmers out here. Alright, we got the pins in view. Let's go ahead and do our push test. Pin 1. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Nice. Solid. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up. Here's my bristle brush. There you are. Right. Let's see how that turned out. That's solid. Alright, let's see the underside. Needs to be cleaned a little. Nice. Alright. So an HDMI port replaced. Let's go ahead and get this mask off. That's first and foremost. So I don't sound like James Earl Jones. And then we're gonna respread the liquid metal. But I'm gonna need to clean up the boards, so I'm gonna go in my garage real quick and use the compressed air. So I'll be right back. I'll be on comms on and off, but I'm just gonna go do that real quick. Dun, dun. Alrighty, in the garage with all my knowledge, my Lamborghinis. All right, we back. We is back in the building. Literally from outside. Well, not really. Still in the building. All right. Let's get this reinserted. Alright, clean off some excess dust. Some like caked on dust that the air compressor can't get, even at like 90 psi at times. Alright. Get this inserted. Let's get the bottom screws inserted. Those should be good to respread and then test. And I want to see what packages I got from Bezos. From the other Jeff. Alright, so that's all reassembled. I'm so glad I got a bunch of these black cotton swabs for respreading the liquid metal. I mean, the microfiber cloth method was good and all, but this is just the wave. Alright, let's clean off the liquid metal that's here. See some oxidation. It's funny, these swabs always make it squeak. Makes you know you're like really cleaning it. Alright. Looks good. Let's go ahead and start respreading. Get this glob over onto the die or the heat exchanger. Try to keep it all on top of it. Yeah, I think maybe this PS5 was opened up in the past for like thermal issues. Maybe it was overheating. Because like this seems like a lot of liquid metal. More than what Sony would use for this revision of the PlayStation, that is. Alright, that's looking good. Nice. So that's respread on this side of the game. Let's do it on the other side of the game. Excuse me. It's so crazy how liquid metal just doesn't stick to alcohol. So like knowing that you can manipulate it how you want to get it where you want if you have a wet side, and then once you need to spread it, you just get a dry swab. A wet swab just pushes it around, which is fire. Alright, let's clean the die. Let's actually clean the APU. Darn, that was a little bit more alcohol on the swab than I wanted, but that's fine. Hey, my boy streaming today. Yes, sir. What's up, Alex? Appreciate you joining in. Dropping a comment. Liquid metal over there? That should not be there. Who worked on this in the past got liquid metal where it should not be. That's not good. Alright, now that I've noticed that, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Console turned on, so it's obviously not shorting anything crazy, I don't think. Definitely should be dealt with though. And like I mentioned before, liquid metal does not stick to alcohol. So, I'm gonna get a swab a little soaked and just push that ball off the board. Or into a piece of paper. Into something to basically collect it. Alright, nice. Nice. So that's respread quite nicely. Alright, let's get that. Just doing a quick repair on my pressure washing lance while I watch the show. Oh, nice. That's what's up. Everybody being handy today. I like that. Yeah, what the heck? No, I'm looking at that underneath the microscope. That's crazy. We got some liquidous metal disc. Somewhere it should not be. Right here. Y'all see that? 1 second. It's liquid metal right there where it should not be. Like I said, thankfully it wasn't shorting anything, but that should not be there. Alright, I need to get alcohol in this thing. I need it to ball up so then I can scoop it out. There's a little bit in that like via that I can't get out with this method. Dang, it's like all up in here. Thankfully it's not shorting anything out. Okay, that's better. There's still some on the board, It's just in a via, so I think it's not gonna get out. But I did want to point that out. This thing got me worried. I'm looking around now. Okay, I think we're good. I think that was caused by someone working on this thing before. Yeah, there's liquid metal in places, a lot more places than I thought. I'm seeing it more. Well, at this point, I think it'll be okay, because, like I said before, it turned on just fine. So let's go ahead and get it popping. Let's get this thing reinstalled into the chassis, and then we can go ahead and run some testing. Yeah, that's a lot of liquid metal, man. That's a lot. But it should spread just fine. Not too worried about it. So, you know, sometimes with thermal compound, more isn't always better. But I don't think people always think of it that way. It's like you just need enough to fill in the air gaps. You don't need to like drown it. It's not like a platter of rice and beans where you just need to have hella beans, you know? You don't need that many beans. Give it the beans, but not that many beans. Alright, cool. My man is fixing his pressure washing lance. He called it a lance. He's like, it's not a wand no more. We done graduated from a wand to a lance. That sounds mad official. Don't y'all think? I think that sounds mad official. Sounds like someone getting stuff accomplished with a lance. Like a knight in shining armor. Pressure washing your driveway. In your house, in your soffits, in your what's the stuff to drain water? Escapes my brain. Man, brain fart. On the house to drain water. Gutters. Jeez, man, brain fart. That was a gassy one. Alright. Let's go ahead and get these X-clamp screws installed. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. Gutter. Yeah, man, I was like drawing a huge blank. Jeez. My brain is misfiring. I need a new coil pack or something. Alright, that is enough reassembly to test. So let's go on over to our test stand. I can't wait to get that new reduction lens. Once I found out about that, I was so happy. Feel like I found the answer to all my problems. Nice and yo, there's nothing like a fresh HDMI port. That junk is so firm. Nice and firm. Alright, let's see if we get an image on the screen. Let's see. Boom! Image on the screen. Problem solved. Nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the rest of the panels, the fan, and then we can complete reassembly, and then I'll be contacting the customer to let them know. Using PTO for the PTO. Oh, is that a picture of a Doom enemy? That's funny. Let me take a picture of the screen and I'll send it over. Alright, we can go ahead and shut this guy off. Ah, crap. I didn't let it fully go through its power off cycle. That's okay. It'll just beep at me when I turn it back on. It'll be mad at me. Let's go with the overhead. Oh, wait, no. I need to clean off the panels. That's next. So I'm going to put my BRB overlay on and collect all these panels. Yeah, because these things are pretty gnarly. Alright, I shall return. Alright, time for final reassembly. Ugh. Then I might take a stream intermission to go grab some food and then be right back to the game. Let's go to the overhead. Nice. Man, this thing is looking spiffy. Oh man, when I use that air compressor, I get dust all over my t-shirt. Guess I gotta go back out there and use the air compressor on my own shirt. I guess I could change shirts. That's also an option. Let me get my gloves on. See, this is where this would be nice, but I don't have the right bit. I'm gonna get that on order today. Little enhancements, improve my stream. need to over torque. And so this will help with my wrist too long term. Sometimes I get in the bad habit of using the screwdriver with bad form. Pretty chill. What is this? Man, I was about to say it was Saturday. I am tripping. It is Wednesday. I don't know why it feels like a Saturday. I guess because I didn't go to work. You know what? I think it'll be fun to go through Super Mario Galaxies. Man, the idea of having to pay again for the same games, bro. I don't know if I'm dealing with that, man. I might just crack out the Wii, bro. Just crack out the Wii U and just play Super Mario Galaxy 2 that way. My Wii remote still works. My Wii U still works. My disc still works, and I got multiple copies. I don't need to buy the game again. It's the same game. Maybe the amiibos would be cool. Might scoop those up, but yeah, nah. And Nintendo's like the main ones who can kind of do that because their IP has so much power. Wait, am I missing a screw? Did I put a screw somewhere there shouldn't have been a screw? Yeah, this screw. What to say? Alright. We can't keep letting them Nintendo get away with this. Pro scammers slash dictators. Dang. Strong language, but I understand where you're coming from. I mean, them shutting down fundraising events, what they did to the Smash Brothers scene, how they're kind of like, they're the culprits of pushing the market this time around in terms of prices. Yeah, I can see why a lot of people are kind of not really feeling Nintendo these days. I used to be more blind to it, but nowadays I can't help but understand. Some of the decisions they make is just like, why though? Like, that was so unnecessary. Starting to start selling the Switch to boys, like be a distributor? I thought you wouldn't want to sell it. Nintendo already made their money, so there's no point in selling it if you have one. So you already bought one. Especially if you got it for free. They won't get away with this. Dr. Eggman, that's funny. Sonic Adventure, boy. That Sonic Adventure fight. When you're Sonic and you're fighting Dr. Eggman, he has that little thing with like a needle on it, and he tries to like stab you and the platforms disappear. It's like the last boss with Sonic. It's funny. He's just, his freaking lines, his NPC lines are so funny. Ugh, you're not gonna get on me with this. Oh yeah, how's the repair of your power washing equipment going? Alright, it's enough Kapton tape. Let me write my note. What episode is this? This is episode 65. All right, let's press on. Nice. Done with the lands, now just doing maintenance on everything else, like seals and making sure nothing will break during a job. Nice. Do you have like scheduled maintenance intervals, or maybe after every so many uses of it? Like, how do you know when to do the maintenance? You go, okay, I did X amount of jobs, or I ran it for approximately this amount of hours. Wonder what's your kind of rule of thumb on that. That's interesting. Nice. Every 100 hours I do maintenance on my ball valves and basically anything that the water comes from. But every 60 hours I do maintenance on the pressure washing machine itself. But I'm a bit overdue on it though. Gotcha. Yeah, that's like me with my oil change. I need to get that on order. So I can get that taken care of. Alright, let's get some rag. Crap, I got them mixed up. Nice. Wait. Let's get that side panel on, and then we're gonna do the other side. Nice. Time for final testing. Starting testing sequence. Right. Sound like Rob from Star Fox. Alright. Alright, as this console's powering on. Man, how did my rat get way over here? Nice, man. Be nice to go get some food here in a little bit. Oh yeah, it's because I didn't let it fully power off the last time. That's my fault. I was like, yo, why is it taking so long? Got me a little worried. But that's all. Grab my beverage here. Let's get a pick. Got the LaCroix can in there. Alright, in terms of testing, let's see. Nice. I always like when users don't have a password on their account, and then also when they have Astrobot installed, because it makes it easier for me to run my tests. It's just a section of the game in the GPU cooler where all the sand particle physics, I just let that run for a little bit. Well, I guess I need to also check Wi-Fi. Bluetooth's working fine. Yeah, 1080p is still a very good image. Alright, almost there to the section where I like to run my test. Right here. Something about these sand particles. Everything spinning, there's a lot of artifacts on the screen. Really works the game. Right here. It's kind of loud and noisy though. There we go. That is a nice feature. If you hold the mute button, it mutes all game audio and from the controller speaker. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm getting a little hungry. I think I'm gonna go grab some food and come back and just start streaming again. What's today, Wednesday? Yeah, it's a pretty chill Wednesday. I'm hoping I gotta work through an Xbox Series X ESDIC replacement, get the stuff off my floor, and then a few other things that I'm working on. But okay, let's go ahead and recap the stream. I know this was a short one, but I'll be back. And like I said, I'm off like for the rest of the week from my day job, so I'll be using that time to stream. Nice. No, we had a good turnout, man. It was nice. We had some new followers, people messaged, people tuned in. Nice. So overall recap of this live stream. Got a PS5 repaired, an expedited order PS5 done. We have a few more things to work through that we're going to be working through all week. It's going to be fun. We're probably going to get to our Panasonic Q this week. A Sega Genesis Model 1 recap and refurb service. That's going to be interesting and fun. Let's see, we have a bunch of controllers, bunch of PS5s. There's a good amount of backlog. It's a healthy amount. Not too crazy for the one-man army show right now. We're hoping to get more associates, but for now, it is what it is. We're just going to make do. Other than that, guys, appreciate y'all for tuning in for this, I guess, Wednesday day stream. We're going to probably have an evening stream later today. And be sure to check out the Discord. If you're looking for any work orders, check out our website, WolfPackElectronics.com. There's a Google contact form on the page that you can fill out if you want to send something to me for me to work on. Excuse me. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys later and appreciate you being here. Peace.